Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It is starting 11 prediction time for tomorrow's Europa League clash at home against AC Milan. But before we get into the video tonight, I've got a couple of things to ask of you. We are 28 subscribers away from 25,000. Now, I know for a fact that 28 people who are watching this video haven't subscribed yet. So if you haven't, please click the red subscribe button below. 25,000 is a huge milestone for us, and the quicker we can get there, the better. And before we get into the video, I have to tell you about our sponsors, OneFootball. The OneFootball app has everything that you could ever need in a football app. It's got lineup notifications as soon as the teams are announced on game day. It's got goal alerts as well. You can keep up to date with league tables from all over the world. You can select Celtic as your favourite team, which means you can keep up to date with all the Celtic related news as soon as it breaks. And you can keep tabs on the Scottish Premiership table and the top goal scorers, top assist makers. You can also create a widget on your phone, so you can just slide to the side. It will show you Celtic's next fixture all the time, the kick-off time. You've got all that information on there. You can download the app by clicking the link in the description of this video. Check it out, it's brilliant, it is absolutely free. That is the best thing about the OneFootball app, and you can support the channel by downloading it as well. Thinking ahead to tomorrow's game, obviously still livid after Saturday's performance. Well, in fact, livid's the wrong word. I'm just scunnered now. It was so disappointing. I don't remember in my lifetime watching Celtic a more timid performance against Rangers or any incarnation of Rangers. Obviously going through, I think back to their 3 in a row time around about Tony Mowbray's era, they obviously beat us well on occasions, but never as limp as that without a shot on target at home. It was just so poor. And wider than the result, the performance is, we never like to lose these games, but we lost it with an absolute whimper, and that's really hard to stomach. But coming into tomorrow's game, it's not the ideal game. You think about bouncing back for a defeat like Saturday, you would prefer a home game in the league against maybe somebody in the bottom 6, and you think, right, the team can just go and attack this, get back to winning ways, dominate the game. But it's AC Milan in the Europa League, so we're obviously going to have to be aware that the quality they have and the danger they pose. They could beat us at any time, never mind at a time when we're at a particularly low ebb in terms of form. If you think about this season so far, how many games have we played? 16, 17. How many good performances have we had? 2, 3, say Hamilton, Reykjavik and Hibs. So Reykjavik and Hamilton, I mean, come on. And then Hibs was the game where we thought, aye, that was a good performance, maybe we'll take an upturn in form here, and it hasn't happened. We need a big momentum swing. We need something to click, and we need the real Celtic to show up again, because this is not the real Celtic we're watching at the minute. So as I say, it's a difficult game. If you want to find out more about how AC Milan are playing, they're top of Serie A, they've only conceded 1 goal. I think they're unbeaten in 20 matches this side of lockdown and at the back end of last season. So they are playing well. I've done a preview show with Stevie from the Milan Weekly Pod. You can check that out. I'll link it up at the end of the video if you haven't seen it already. But tomorrow night we need a performance that we can have some pride in. Okay, Milan might beat us, that's absolutely fine. That can happen at any time, as I say. But we need to see a performance. We need to see a team that isn't going to accept defeat the way they did on Saturday. Because as I say, it was really difficult to watch. And the last thing before we get to the team, I can sense a real indifference about this game tomorrow, which is strange because it's a huge fixture. We know we can't be there in attendance, but Celtic versus AC Milan, a brilliant historic fixture. We've played them in the Champions League on numerous occasions. It's just a brilliant fixture, but there's a real indifference I've got from talking to people, from reading people's comments and the content on Twitter. There's a real indifference about this game, but that is the hangover from a defeat like Saturday. To the team, honest to God, I could go through the whole team, and if you were basing it on Saturday's performance, hardly anybody deserves their place in the team, but I don't think there'll be too many changes. In goals, it will be Vasilis Barkas, who was poor at the weekend. I've defended him so far, but I think we do need to start seeing more from him. He should have saved Goldston's header. There's errors earlier from El Yunusi, and then Ayer, and then Duffy, and El Yunusi again, but he should probably have saved it, let's be honest, and we've got to start expecting better performances from him. He's got to do better. If he's going to be the Celtic number 1 long term, he's got to start performing better. The other thing I think we might see in this game, the thing I think we should see, is we've got to go back to 4-2-3-1. There's no two ways about that. This 3-5-2 shape right now isn't working. It might be about personnel. We know we've got injuries, suspensions, players out with COVID. We've got to get back to 4-2-3-1. It worked well for us in the Europa League last season. And the 3-5-2 right now just is not working for us. Believe your eyes. Somebody said that to me on Twitter the other day, and I thought that's a really good turn of phrase. Believe your eyes. You can see this Celtic team. You've been watching them for 2 and 3 months now this season, and this shape isn't working. I think we've got to go back to 4-2-3-1 against a team like Milan. I think the back four will be Jeremy Frimpong at right back, who has been our best attacking outlet for months now, who was nullified at the weekend because Rangers doubled up on him. I think he's going to come back into the right back position if we go to a back four. Duffy alongside Christopher Ajer, both have got to do better. Shane Duffy particularly came in as a great signing, much heralded. Everybody looking forward to seeing him playing. He's disappointed so far, and I thought he was really, really poor on Saturday. He's got to do better. Christopher Ajer alongside them. I think Diego Laxalt will play at left back. You can make allowances for him, as I said at the weekend, because it was his debut. It was his first game for Celtic. He's not played a lot of football against his parent club tomorrow if he does start. Hopefully that gives him a little bit extra motivation if he needs it to put in a good performance and prove to them just how good a player he is, that maybe shouldn't have let him go out on loan. Hopefully that provides extra impetus for him. The midfield, I don't think we'll see too many changes in it. I do think it'll be Scott Brown and Callum McGregor. Scott Brown probably slightly better than some of the other performances on Saturday, but as I say, still just about nobody with pass marks because we were so poor. Brown and McGregor in front of them. I think Olivier Ntcham is going to have to keep his place, even though he was dreadful on Saturday as well. We keep talking about Ntcham, and I said it before the game on Saturday. So many people on Twitter will have you believe that he's absolutely brilliant. He's the best midfielder in the league, and we keep saying it time after time, on his day. But he's been poor, and he needs to start performing. It's almost getting to the point where those good days are the exception. It's like when people talk about Tom Rogic and they say Tom Rogic had a brilliant record against Rangers, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's the same with Ntcham. When was the last time we seen Ntcham come in, take a game by the scruff of the neck and be the best player in the park? I can't remember the last time, but I think he's going to have to keep his position in front of Brown and McGregor on the right hand side, and this is why Ntcham's going to have to keep his position, because James Forrest is injured and we don't have anyone else who can play from the right hand side in a 4-2-3-1 when James Forrest is out. I know we've spent a lot of money, but that is one area of the squad where we're really weak. That's why when we've played 3-5-2, Jeremy Frimpong has played from the right hand side as the winger or the wing back, and he's been the best attacking outlet for us. We don't have any options on the right hand side, so I think Ryan Christie's going to come back in after having to isolate. Neil Lennon has said that he's going to be available, so because again we've not got any other options, I think Christie's going to play off of the right hand side. And Christie's been in for a lot of criticism this season so far as well, and I know he can be frustrating at times, but I tell you what, if Ryan Christie was playing at the weekend, we'd at least have a shot on target, because he does take risks, he takes chances, he's high energy. I thought the aggression without the ball was really poor on Saturday as well. So if nothing else, Christie will bring an intensity and he'll hit shots at goal, and after Saturday that will be an improvement. On the left hand side, again, I think El Yunusi will keep his place there. Really poor on Saturday again, but we've got to see him. If it's 4-2-3-1, he's got to get out to the left hand side. That's his natural position. We've talked over and over about how he doesn't look quite himself in that second striker position or playing up front in this 3-5-2 that we've been playing. I think he's got to go back to the left hand side, and I think we'll see that again. Mikey Johnston isn't anywhere near back to match fitness yet, so he is really the only option we've got to play off the left hand side as well. And up front, Odsonne Edouard's still out. That's a huge blow for us, but it's not the crux of why we're not playing well, because Edouard's been playing for most of the season so far, and we've still not been playing well. So Edouard is a big miss, there's no doubt about that. Klimala really struggled on Saturday. I said before the game in the preview show last Wednesday that Patrick Klimala was nowhere near ready to play in a game like Saturday's. I think we've seen that as the game played out, but I don't know how he was ready to start in that game. He wasn't ready to start in the Ferencváros game a few weeks ago, but hey ho, that's the Celtic team right now, isn't it? Strange decisions all over the place. I hope Albian Ajeti is fit enough to start this game. I think he will be. I think he should be. He was on the bench at the weekend, along with Lee Griffiths. I know he had that hamstring tweak, but it's taken so long for Ajeti now. He's been here for months to get up to full match fitness. Neil Lennon's been talking about every week since he came in, we're still waiting on him getting up to fitness. And then he was just starting to motor when he got the injury against Hibs. If he was fit enough for the bench on Saturday, he should have been fit enough to start. You don't put injured players on the bench. I don't know if it's sports science. I don't know who's deciding that if somebody's fit enough to give you half an hour, they're not fit enough to give you 60 minutes for the start. Same goes for Griffiths. If Griffiths is there on the bench, I know he's not played a lot of football, but if he's not fit, then put Griffiths in. If Klimala's not ready, put one of the guys in. They're there, they are fit in some form. If they're not fit for 90 minutes, give them 60. But give us a platform in the game with a proper striker who's ready to play up front for Celtic in these big games. I hope tomorrow it is Ajeti. That's the team I've went with. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. As I say, we're very, very close to 25,000, and it'd be a brilliant milestone for us to get there. We'll see you tomorrow after the game for live full-time reaction here from the home of full-time reaction on Celtic Fans TV. Cheers.